Hello everyone. In Chinese we say Ni Hao Ma. Ni Hao Ma everyone. Welcome to the Speak the Truth in Love Ministry and welcome to our video 100. Banango Bugalo. I am making my video 100 and just like I tell people, I only now have 16 subscribers, but I'm doing my video 100 and it is the grace of God. And just like I tell people, these are truths I share in regard to different topics, and I'm very enthusiastic and passionate about what I'm doing because I am led by the Spirit of God. And I told people I do not need a following, and that's why I tell people I wake up every day with passion and enthusiasm to do my thing because all I need in the world is a well done, good and faithful servant. I'm not here to make people happy because the calling on my life is not to impress, to excite, but to impact people. Just like I share on my channel details, it is that one soul. Eyendigemu mukama jampa buli lunaku jennoonya seetaaga bangi kuba Bible tugamba nti mukama aleka the 99 aleka endiga 99 n'anoonya yendigemu. And it is the mission of this channel in that one person who gets a message every day and the Lord smiles to me, the heaven smiles to me, well done, good and faithful servant. It is what is enough. It is what I'm trying to show that generation. Most of us have failed to enter our calling, our purpose. Rakuba, we are waiting for validation from worth from people who do not have anything connected to your purpose. And it is why I'm very proud of myself. It is why I clap for myself when no one is clapping for me. It is why I'm so proud of myself when no one is proud of me. Because I know that God in heaven is proud of me. At the end of the day, I look at the audience that egulweli erintunulira ddene nnyo seetaaga muntu yenna kubeera na following naye eggulwelyo lijjuzza abantu bangi abantunulira nga mpeereza obubaka buno kyova olaba ngamba abantu I do not need any following but that one person who wants to know the truth. And welcome to this edition, this 100th edition of the Speak the Truth in Love channel. And today we have a very exciting topic. All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single banange single ladies, Miss Veronica to say, nga wengamba abantu ebyabaami sibimanyi nnyo kubanga ndi mukyala, and whatever I share usually connotes to women kubanga ndi mukyala. There are things you will tell me nga toyogera ku baami ebyabaami sibimanyi kyovala obeera omukyala n'onyiigira n'ongamba tukulinze njogera ku byabakyala kubanga ndi mukyala nte kyemmanyi. Banange, welcome to this edition and the title to our message is Being Single is Not a Curse. Okubeera single si kikolimo. Banange, ndi wano sinakuzzaamu maanyi naye nkulaga bantu mazima. Kubanga abantu abasinga beemalamu amaanyi ensi n'ekulabanga luuza naye ng'abantu tebakubulira biki bye bayitamu n'obeera ng'aliko ekikolimo n'obeera ng'eyaddiba. And I'm here to tell someone being single is not a curse. I want someone to listen to this message, and at the end of this message it is my prayer that someone's mindset will have been changed because of knowing certain truths that have set you free. Ndi wano okuzzaamu omuntu amaanyi sinakuzzaamu buzimaanyi naye okulaga amazima nti okubeera single si kikolimo. Being single is not a curse. And why I'm sharing this, I want to help people know. Because ebintu bino biva ne makanisa mwe tusabira. They do not help singles know how to build lives. Naye ne kanisa ne kulaga nga oyina ekikolimo. And it is why we are living in a very disturbed generation where people are battling as single mothers, where so many married women are battling as single mothers. Kubanga ensi ekulowoozesa olabika oliko ekikyamu, olabika oliko ekikolimo, olabika waddiba kubanga totegedde mazima gali mu kubeera single. No, there are things byembuulirira abaana abawala. Most of us are entering relationships because of pressure. Society eyogera, ab'oku mulimu boogera, church eyogera, ab'ewaka boogera, family eyogera. And so many people enter relationships. Oba bazaala abaana, Cynthia akyagala ne lwakuba akkiriza ebigambo by'abantu okumufuukira obuzibu. You have allowed words from people, you have allowed words from family, from society, from the workplace, from the church, give you identity, ate nga ky'oyingiramu okiyitamu wekka. You know, what hurts me most is omuntu wakole like wakiyingiramu ensi n'eryoka eseka. Obadde weewagawaga kati ensi n'esanyuka. But because they put you on pressure and you didn't know this pressure, these derogatory words and comments they are using, they are very good at laughing at you when you are battling as a single mother. No, there are things I tell people. I'm not here to shame or ridicule any single mother. Because none of us knows the circumstances people become single mothers. Omuntu ayinza okuba yafiirwa omwami naye mulimu ebintu nga naawe omanyi ky'oyingira okiraba nga bakugamba ekinnya kiri awo ogenda gwamu n'ogwamu lwakuba you have allowed people's words make you make decisions that you are not proud of ne lwakuba okkiriza ensi to have the loudest voice. You know, it is why I'm here to speak to young girls. Being single is not a curse. You know, stop allowing the world show you have a problem because you are single and you are of age. No, there are things I tell people, Veronica, nine miaka 38, but you will not put me down. You will not make me feel like I have a problem because I'm 38, sina mwana and sina. It is okay. Because abantu abasinga abaana abawala bakoze decisions bawabye lwakuba you have allowed societal pressure, you have allowed words from family, words from society, from the church, from the workplace get louder because you have not known certain truth of this season of singlehood. You know, and the reason I'm here to speak to young ladies, whenever you know who you are, whenever you know what you want, and whenever you know what you stand for, tewali agenda kukozesa nsobi. Buli womanya chicholi, buli womanya chichoyagala, nechoyimirirako tewali agenda kukozesa nsobi. Abantu abasinga, we rush into relate because we do not know who we are. You do not know what you stand for. You do not know what you want. Chovola babuli echijja, you take it because tomanyi chichoyagala. You know, and these are the things I'm speaking to single girls out there. Even you may be a single mother and you made a mistake, this message can be yours. Kuba aba single mother banji ne wemalamu amanyi omusajja yakuzalamu yadduka oliawo you don't have worth in yourself, you don't have esteem, rakuboloza abakuzalamu it is the end of the world. No. There are things I tell young girls when we get to know certain truth. You do not allow these definitions of the world. Banange nache ngamba abana abawala yigo kuteeka pamba mu matu. Yigo kuteeka pamba kubanga enseno. Wotamanya chichoyagala. Wotamanya what you stand for. Wotamanya who you are. Wotamanya your identity. Ense genda kulondera. You know, and it is the reason I'm here to tell young girls. No, let me tell young girls. Ante ense tutandikako tukyali bato. Nekula omanyi oli munene nnyo. Ng'okyali namu omanyi oli munene nnyo. Ani agenda okwagala? Lwaki tozaala? I'm telling you, the world makes you lose esteem. And it makes you just go for anything because you seem to be desperate. You know, and it is the reason I'm here speaking to young girls. Whenever you do not know what you want, whenever you do not know who you are, whenever you don't know what you stand for, you will go for anything. You know, there is a saying that says, if you do not stand for anything, you will go for anything. Byengamba abana abawala, woba tomanyi chicholi, chichoyagala, or jagenda for anything because you think men are doing you a favor. No, there are things I speak to young girls out of lots of humility and not arrogance. Whenever you know your worth, no one is going to take advantage of you because of desperation. Because you know who you are. You know your worth. You know your worth, but you know who you are. And the reason I'm here to speak to young girls, know who you are. Know your worth. Whenever you do not know your worth, it is why you are going to compromise your values. It is why you're going to think a man is doing you a favor. Aliya wakumalira obudde, akosa omubirigo, wagonona, otuuka okufuna omwami akuwasa, ofeiringa okufuna olubuto. Naye ng'omusajja aliya wakumalira obudde. Omanyi wanaagenda, sigenda kufuna nkwana. My dear, it is because you do not know your worth. Olowooza wadiba. And that is the generation. It is what I tell young girls. Veronica, I know what I want, I know who I am, and I know what I stand for. Whenever I know what no, because I know what I want, I know what I stand for, and I know who I am. It is why I tell girls, whenever you do not know, Veronica, I stand for Jesus, that is one, the way, the truth, and the life. I stand for integrity, truth. Being truthful when no one is watching. I stand for sexual purity. Be it ebyobulalu, but I stand for it, and I'm very, very bold to ngoli asobola okuyimira nayogera ebyobusegu. Nze wenyimira nyoga wachi chinswaza. I stand for sexual purity. I stand for legacy. My mission is not to impress people, but to impact lives. That one life I impact every day is the legacy I stand for. I stand for humility. I know I'm a very humble person. I know I'm not arrogant, but we live in a world, because you know your worth, omanyi ino lugezigezi lungi, omanyi yepanka nnyo. No, I stand for humility. I stand for love and compassion. I stand for hard work. So there are things, if I know what I stand for, omusajja tagenda ku jeri kutandika kumbuzaabuza byenjagala mbimanyi. I know my worth. I know what I stand for. So you will not take advantage of me because you think you are doing me a favor. You are going to take advantage of me. No, know your worth. No, let me speak to young girls. Whatever was called bipolar in my life, I didn't know my worth. You are running after men out of desperation because tewe manyi tewe kiririzamu kacholoza musajja yoza boy yaino kufiringa gap. And these are the things I'm telling young people. Whenever you do not know who you are, buli water, it is like ensajja chikuwa. No, there are things I tell people. Buli water manya chicholi ensajja chikulaga. But what am I showing? You have allowed it. You do not believe in yourself. And these are the things I'm telling young people. Know your worth out of lots of humility. Sikwepanka, sirugezigezi, nehemanya chicholi. Omuntu amanyi chichali. Buli omuntu agenda muzanyirako. Buli kawata agenda kuzanyirako. Omanyi chicholi. Togenda kubeera chigo buli omuntu akuyitaayitamu. Because omanyi chicholi. Togenda kubeera kanyeebwa nti buli omu akutestingako. You know who you are. You are not going to be a blood sample because you know who you are. It is what I tell young people. Know your worth. No sango mwana we makerere. Ngakasajja akamuzanyirako nugambo batuli kuchi. Rakuba, you do not know your worth. You don't know your worth and you think anyone can take advantage of you. And these are the things I'm telling young people. Out of lots of humility, sikwepanga sirugezigezi. And young single ladies, you have to know, abasajja bati abachala abamanyi kye baagala. Abasajja bati abachala abekkiririzamu. Abasajja bati abachala abamanyi kye bali. Kubanga amanyi wakukwana agenda kugamba you're beautiful, agenda kuwase. Kati buli wotamanya chichomanyi, amanya controlling irawo. And it takes me to my next point. It is why you have to work on your emotions as a single, as you are waiting on God. You know? No, there are things I tell. Bajita lugezigezi kwepanka. Kanepanke nenga chenja gala nchimanyi. Because there are things we take for granted and they are ruining everyone. Buli wotamanya kyoyagala ensajja kikulondeho atokimanyi. Tochimanyi. It is why I tell young girls, whenever you enter relationships out of desperation, out of loneliness, fear of being alone, people's words in society, you will be very wounded. Buli woyingira relationship, omanyi nti yakubeera azeka, kati ono wanaagenda namuja, you will be wounded. Because no man is the source of your happiness when you have not learned how to be happy alone. No woman is the source of your happiness when you have not learned how to be happy alone as a man. It is what I'm telling people. Being single is not a curse. No sanga abana abawala, I'll only be happy nga nfunye omusajja, I'll only be happy nga nsadde abaana. Who tells you? Hey, my sister, it is the reason you have to have a life. If you think when you get a man is when you will have a life. Chovolaba, we live in a generation where so many married people are very clingy to their spouses because you got married for emotional needs that only come from within and your creator. You know, it is what I'm telling single ladies. Being single is not a curse. It is a season of preparation, a season of self-discovery, self-awareness, self-love. Working on financial security, being molded, a season of working on your character. It is a season of self-discovery, self-awareness, or kuzula chicholi, or knowing that your identity is not in a man. Identity yo teri mu mwami. Your identity is not on a finger on your ring. Your identity is not in a man's name. Your identity is not in being married in kubeera mukyala gundi. Your identity is not in being having children, but your identity is in your creator. Nedda abaana abawala kambabuulirire. Being single is a season to work on your financial security. Yigo okubeera nga oli mukyala naye ng'osobola okweyimirizaawo nga togenda wa musajja lwakuba omwagalako busente. Kyova olaba abaana abawala abasinga obufumbo bugaana nga ssente ziweddewo, laavu neefa kubanga ekyakutwala zaali ssente, tewagenda kwagala muntu nga ye. Biembulira abaana abawala, work on your financial security. You'll be happier in your home. You'll be happier in your marriage. Nga buli omu alina kya contributing ewaka. Ng'omwami agula ettooke n'ogula akamonde. Ng'omwami agula ennyama n'ogula ennyaanya. That is what is called marriage. Nga togenze wa musajja mbula kuba oyagala ssente kati bye biri mu baana abawala abasinga. Kyova olaba abasinga tebalina ssanyu mu bufumbo kuba ekyamutwalayo ssente kati ssente we zizikira essanyu ne liggwawo. You cannot do anything in the home because all that brought you, omusajja yankwananga nga mpa emitwalo 2 nga mpa emitwalo 3. Kati n'otuuka ewaka nga ssente ziweddewo. Love neefa. Kuba tewagenda because of love, but you went because of money. And these are things I'm speaking to young girls. Work on financial security. Learn how to love yourself. Learn how to look good. Tolinda kuba na musajja okulabika obulungi nedda. Olyawo teweefaako nga single. Labika bulungi mu biseera bye ebya single. Weefeeko. Weeteekemu akasente. No, there are things I tell girls. Class attracts class. Woba weteeka mu ssente na jjajja kumanya kyatwala ino kiteeka mu ssente. Naye oli awo teweefaako omanyi ndi single maama naye abojja okattracting abeebo kuba amanyi byasobola. It is what I'm telling girls. Weefeeko as a single. Yiga okweyagala, yiga okwekkiririzaamu. Being single is not a curse, but a season of preparation. Work on your character. Work on a bad temper, okuyomba, obutagumiikiriza, kubanga obufumbo bugumiikiriza. Mulimu ebintu nga newoba nakuba empeta nga tobikozeeko, you are easily angered, ovaako waya ojagena mbufumbo olwanireyo. Kati kana kaseera Mukama akukkiriza okole ku mbalayo. Nga tonnalowooza kufumbirwa, sooka obale ebibala. Nga tonnalowooza kufuna mwami, sooka weekolemu omulimu. oli mwana mwala toyagala kufumba oli mwana mwala oli singo otereka empala abiri awaka mbulala kuba oyina enjala kati omusajja gw'ogenda okufuna ani agenda omufumbira emmere No, there are things I tell young girls. Men do not want lazy women. So those are the things we have to work on in this time. Being single is not a curse, but a season of preparation, a season of being molded. Do not pray for a perfect man, but pray to become the perfect woman. Pray to be that perfect person. You know? It is a season to learn how to believe in yourself. Work on your insecurities. You are going to go with a man who also has the insecurities. You have not learned to believe in yourself. Ojagena mbufumbo omusajja aleme kuwana ogambe yafunye omukyalo omulala. Ojagena kubanga you are insecure as a woman. Have a life. Do not think that when you get married it is when you will be happy. That is so wrong. Do not allow the world to give you worth. Tokiriza bigambo by'abantu kumala mu maanyi because it's a decisions lwakuba oyiza bigambo by'abantu. Omanyi oyina emyaka 38 tonnafumbirwa toyina mwana. I'm telling you words will be many. Beautiful but unlucky. Alabika aliko ebikolimo twali musajja asobola kubeera naye. I'm telling you words will be many. Omwala omulungi ng'oyo kankubuulire ebigambo bijja kuba bingi naye buli w'omanya ki ky'oyagala togenda nakawa kubanga ky'oyagala okimanyi. Out of lots of humility. Buli w'omanya ki ky'oyagala ensi ejja kwogera omukyala akuliridde. Omanya aliko ebikolimo by'abantu bingi tewali amwaga kankubuulire ensi gireke. There are things I tell people. The unhappiest people are those who want to know what everyone thinks about them. There is a freedom in living free from people's words and opinions because togenda gana nsi kwogera. Byengamba abaana abawala. Ensike ekuswaze myaka 38 akola yadibira ku lujja ng'oyina emirembe. Ababali mu bufumbo naye nga basingo mother. Kigasa ki? Bali mufumba kyala bafumbo naye bebalabirira abaana bebalabirira awaka naye gwe bakubeerako nga wadibira ku lujja. Dibira ku lujja ng'oyina emirembe. You know, because there are things I tell young people, you allow the voices get louder, but people do not tell you what they are going through. Sijja kugamba kiki eyitamu nenegezako kulaganga woliruuza. Omanyi zaala y'akaana kakuggyako stress. Kayina akamu bwe kati ke kamuleetera stress. Naye agezaako kulaga zaala y'akamu kakuggyeko stress. No, young girls, be very, very careful. Kubanga okkiriza ebigambo by'abantu okuwabya tomanyi kikyoli. You do not know your worth. And it is why I'm speaking to young people. Being single is not a curse. Ensi gireke eyogere wadibira ku lujja tewali it is okay. Bo be bagambako be bayitaayita mu babayamba ki babakozesa nga babaddukako n'obeera mu depression. There are things I tell when we get to know reality. Oli gwe bakwana buli omu gwakwana bamuyamba ki bale bamuzaalamu baana yabalabirira naye nga gwegezaako kulaga how you have a problem. And these are things I'm telling young people. This world may ashame you, it may make you feel naye nga ate bagamba biki bye bayitamu. Ensi ejja kulaga nga oba oli ku ki obudde bugenze naye abantu bagamba biki bye bayitamu. And that is a world. Okkiriza ebigambo by'abantu okukosa decision enkyamu n'ofuuka single mother ensi n'eseka anti yali yeepankapanka but because you did not know certain truth. No, I'm telling young girls, we are living in a generation where women are married but they are the fathers in the home. Is that God glorifying? Nkamba buli ezembeera mbakyala abakulu ne bagamba bane ezaalayo obuzaazi weerabirira omwana wo kyawandikibwa ndeza alina okulabirira mulakuba njagala mwana. And these are things I tell people. There are truths you will know that will set you free. Lekera okukkiriza ensi okuwabya ng'abantu tebagamba biki bye bayitamu. Kubanga abasinga we have allowed societal pressure We have allowed words from people. We have allowed comments, opinions. Nokola decision. Kale nange kanzale bandabe nti nzaala. Kankubulire. Ojja kweragira ku nsi naye nga tomanyi tekikosa kuteeka wansi. Ekikosa kukosa nsobi. Omanyi nagamba kanzaleyo ng'abantu bansekerera. Mama n'obazaala abaana bo ne bakufuukira obuzibu. Toyina sente zibalabirira. Toyina ngejo naye bawazaala kuprovingira point nsi. You are proving a point to the world nga naye woyina eyakwebakako eyakuzaalamu naye nga stress y'abaana ogenda giyitamu wekka because you are proving a point to the world at the expense of your inner peace. You are proving a point to the world at the expense of your peace. There are things I tell young girls. Be very, very careful. There are things I tell girls. Wotegendereze ensajja kuwabya. Ensi gireke eyogere tosagana abantu kwogera buli omu alina opinion ye. It is why I tell people you live happier when you are like the unhappiest people are those who want to know what everyone thinks about them. There is a freedom in not knowing even what people say about you. You know? Because at the end of the people have a right to their opinion. You have to respect. But when you get to know certain togenda kukiriza nsiku because choyagala okimanyi. You are looking for happiness in a man, in a woman. My sister, you will tell me. There are things I tell young single girls whenever you do not know who you are. The world will ejakubulira chicholi. And as I end this video, let me speak to girls out there. Because at times you have allowed people's words and comments make people make decisions, but you hardly know what people are going through. There are things I tell young girls. Being single is not a curse. Sichikoli molekela okule abantu okubeeza you have a problem. Omanyi yo 30 tonazala tonafuna my dear. All our life journeys are different and run your race. Tambula olugendo lova mu lugendo lw'abantu. Bwabye ebintu ebiwabya abantu ne bakosa ensobi. Naye nga tokimanyi nti ffenna Katonda ye yatutonda ate alina engendo zaffe aziinako obuyinza. Kye ŋŋamba abaana abawala Veronica oba nzadde ku myaka bonna bajja kuba baana. Kati lwaki ommalamu amaanyi n'ondabisa nti nina ekizibu? Nga gw'obazadde bali awo bakufuukira obuzibu. Naye nga you try to show me how I'm a loser in life. No, there are things I tell young girls. When you know what you want and who you are, people's words do not put you down. Kubanga omanyi chicholi. You know who you are. Simu kwepanka. N'ekyoyagala okimanyi. Ensi ejja kuyita kwepanka. Luke kuyite kwepanka lugezigezi. Naye kankubuulire n'abasajja tumiitinza abasajja nga baagala abakyala abamanyi kye baagala. In that naye agenda like he wants a woman who will submit to what they already know. Naye abaana abawala, we do not know what we want. And that's why you see we are living in a disturbed generation. No, there are things I tell girls. No man is doing you a favor kwebakako. Nedda. Tolimbibwanga. Bameka bebebakako nga bali awo time. You know, omanyi walabiko ino obuzibu. Kambere n'obuzibu. Kambere luza. Kambere nti nadibira ku lujja naye nga nina emirembe. Kubanga naawe omufumbo nga gwalabiri. Tolina mirembe obuzaabuza. Naye n'onfuula nti amaluza. And these are things I'm telling young people. Be very careful of jealous women. No, let me speak to young girls. And let me speak this to young girls who are beautiful. Who are beautiful like Miss Veronica. Nga mukama yakera nakuwa. Kuno sikwepanka n'ekisa kya Katonda. When you are very beautiful and attractive, it attracts a lot of attention, but it also has you kankubulire china like nga ogamba oyina ebizibu byoyitamu nenge ebikireeta beauty. There are things you will go through suffering kuba Katonda kyakera okuteekako. You will attract attention from jealous women. Toyina na mchala natandika okubeerako n'omutima omubi. You will attract negative energy. Negative support. No, I'm telling young girls, there are certain things when you get to know certain truths. Stop thinking you are the problem. Fake support. Oli neefula mukwano gwo naye ng'ali awo just akwagalako amanyi oli mulungi alina just kyakwagalako. You will attract, I'm telling you, demons. N'osanga talina n'atandika okusooza n'atandika okuziimuula naye nga kyo kimukozesa bulungi bo. And it takes me to talking about insecurity. Omukyala buli wootekkiririza bye ngamba basingo buli wootekkiririzaamu byebyo. Kuba tomanyi kikyoli kati woolaba akusinga aba akuleetera obusungu naye nga kuba tewekkiririzaamu tomanyi kikyoli. Kati we have to know abantu ne babeera nga bateeka insecurities zaabwe ku bantu and they make you the problem, and that is the world. You become a culprit, you become a villain to people's insecurities. Buli atekirizaamu atandika okusooza atandika okwogerako nenga aba teyekkiririzaamu. And these are things I'm telling young girls. Work on your insecurities. Omuntu atekkiririzaamu ky'oba olaba obeera n'omwami n'omufuukira obuzibu batomanyi kikyoli. Omuntu atekkiririzaamu ofuukira abantu obuzibu kuba tomanyi kikyoli. No, there are things I tell people. Buli wookera okuwala n'omuntu Katonda ebirabo bye yamuwa. Obulungi saabujja mu ssabu. Kankubuulire Katonda gw'oba oliko. Kubanga there are things I tell young girls. Learn to love yourself. Learn to believe in yourself. Veronica, I do not compare myself to anyone. Kuba amanyi situukiridde. Ky'olina sikyetaaga. Kuba si kyange Mukama teyakimpa. Akakabina k'obigula sikeetaaga Mukama ke yampa kammala. Eyo skin color joine ya brown sijeetaaga Mukama yampa yange ya black emmala. No, there are things I tell people. What brings insecurity? It's because people are into comparisons. They do not know they are enough. Tewekkiririzaamu ng'omukyala. No, there are things you have to know. Fenna Katonda yatuwa. Kati yakuwa si kyetaaga. Kwate yakimpa. Kyenina kimmala. You are enough. Do not compare yourself to anyone. Kyolina kikumala. And the things I tell young girls, beautiful. Abalungi tebannazaalibwa. Ate fenna, there are things I tell people. When you get to know certain truth. Choba omutobe nanga onakwepanka nti ndi mulungi. Abalungi tebannazaalibwa. Naye kyolina kisiime. Kyolina kyekkiririzeemu. Kyolina chicho togenda kufuna kirala. These are things I tell young ladies. Know who you are. Omanyi Veronica, oyina omutu ogulimu amasiga. Gwe gwange Katonda gwe yampa. Sina gwe ngenda kujja mulala gutaliimu masiga. Omanyi Veronica, wasazeeko embiri akatone kaswala. Kakaswale katini kange Katonda ke yampa. Sina gye ngenda kujja munene. And learn how to love and believe in yourself. Katonda kye yakuwa kikyo. Because no one is perfect. So do not allow people's words and derogatory statements make you feel low because you want to be like other people. People battle insecurities because they do not believe in themselves. Teyemanyi nti mulungi, teyemanyi nti amala, teyemanyi nti buli kimu Katonda yakimuwa ensonga. Naye ne babeera mu bulamu bw'abantu. Entumbo eyo nga ya brown, kyokka nkusinga obwa brown. Bulijjo olina akabina. It is because you are comparing yourself because you do not love yourself. And it is what I'm telling people. In this season of singlehood, kola ku bintu bwe bityo. There are things you have to work on as a single. Yigo kweyagala oba amabeere gagwa gegagwa tolina gy'ogenda kujja gataagwa. Oba entumbwe, it is okay yeeyiyo. Tokkiriza abantu kumalamu maanyi. Because you know who you are. And it is why, as I'm finishing, let me speak to someone. Being single is not a curse. It is not a curse. It is a season of preparation, a season of self-discovery and awareness, a season of molding, a season of working on your character, on working on your identity, on working on your inner wounds. Where you not again wa musajja ng'oliko ebiwundu bingi nti yagenda obbiwonya. Work on your inner wounds as a single. Learn how to cook. Learn how to be hardworking. Learn how to smell nice. Learn how to look good. Learn how to, learn things that are going to make you a responsible wife in a home, than being in that desperation of entering relationships out of loneliness, out of fear of being alone, out of desperation. And people are just wounding you because you do not know it is a season of working on your character before you transit into marriage. Thank you very much for listening to me and have a beautiful day. Veronica Mirembe Benediction.